G'day guys, this is Mupasega here. In the last video I was tossing up what to do next, and I thought rather than engaging with production ships or the production sheets in general before, like there is still a bit more information that would get entered here before I would actually start using this thing. So we've got our guessy info, we planned the builds, we loaded the builds, which is this here. We made sure that we had enough resources for everything just by quickly glancing at the overview here. Now, there is a whole bunch more Amar components that I could be using, so I would go back and I would find more stuff. I might do some extra anathemas, or I might do some extra crusaders, or whatever was, you know, whatever we were building there. Might even move into cruisers as well, maybe do some pilgrims or curses or that kind of stuff. But this is just an example. So the next step that I would do, we've got our builds here loaded and planned. I would then grab these because we've got to prepare the Tech 1 elements. Now this is a little bit different, I imagine. This is I don't know how to express this one. I would grab this and I'll think about it as we move through the spreadsheet here. I would come to my Rens prep, right? And I would paste that there. Now, when it comes to Tech 1, I build Tech 1 and I put it into the market at a reasonable price. I don't make a lot of ISK, like often a lot of the Tech 1 doesn't sell, which is totally fine because I kind of use the Rens market as my warehouse. You know, rather than making a whole bunch of Tech 1 and having it in my assets, waiting to get used and waiting to deploy on it, I find it better to just kind of build my Tech 1, put it in the market, and then I end up still buying Tech 1 back off the market. Sometimes I buy it straight back off myself, because it's just too much of a pain having a whole bunch of Tech 1 sitting there. And it doesn't fit well into the cycle if I wanted to build all these things and then I have to go and waste a job slot on building 5 executioners, 5 buzzards. It just doesn't work, right, for me. So I decided, herons, sorry. I decided in the end that I would build a bunch of Tech 1, stabilize the Rens market, make sure that there is product in there. I'm not the cheapest guy there often, but if my stuff sells, then it sells, and terrific. So once I've done that, we've loaded this, we've got to go and get some Tech 1 for the Tech 2 build. What this tool does, I pasted my numbers here. Now I like this one. It's kind of, I like it because I paste in my numbers, right? I need 5 crusaders, 5 buzzards. I'm going to be building, 4 hawks, 4 raptors, 5 aries, right? And now it gives me the Tech 1 equivalent on this side. It gives me the Tech 1 equivalent that I would require. So it's executioners that go into crusaders, it's condors that go into raptors, and slashes that go into stilettos here, right? So these are the Tech 1s that I need to buy. Now, how I grab this, I actually just grab this side. Like so. We copy that. Now the beautiful thing about multi-buy in Excel, in Eve, is that it doesn't matter on which side you put your numbers, right? Whether it's on the left-hand side or the right-hand side. When it comes to actually using multi-buy, it is still going to interpret this just fine when I add items from the clipboard into multi-buy. It still reads this just fine. Now it looks like, oh dear, yeah, no, we're in Fran, we're not in Rens. So I would take my ship out there anyway. Do I have any characters in Rens right now? Okay, I'm gonna pause the video and I'll see you when I'm in Rens. So here we are, we've arrived one jump away. We have now arrived in Rens from Fran. Now what we were trying to do is that I had an order loaded in my clipboard, we went to multi-buy and the stuff wasn't available. Okay, so here we are. These are the things that we require for our Tech 1 elements here. Now looking through here, I didn't see anything that I'm too upset about that I feel is an issue. Every now and then this will show you that a market is being extorted and that the good people of Rennes are being treated poorly. And that's when I will turn up and we'll drop a few hundred of something in there to just settle things down. And you can do that as a single player in Rennes because it is Rennes. But this is the next step that I would have, right? We would buy these things and we would move them to where they need to be, which is just one jump across. But before I would do this here, and let's bring it back to the tool, is that I would say, copy order to clipboard. So we copied this in, and when we copy it back out, it's going to bring this extra information here for us, which is the total price and the per price and that kind of stuff, right? So once I've got that back in my clipboard, I've got another little thing here which I paste this in. Keep text only, right? Easy. It's in. And what this is gonna do, it then gives me all my hub costs, right? For the Tech 1 elements. So if we're building 5 executioners, we just spent 5 crusaders, we just spent 1.8 mil on executioners, right? We're building 1 crane, 2.7 mil of that final crane is the badger that went into it, right? So once I've got that, I can copy this information and we grab that and we paste that over into production ships, which is there. Now I might actually scroll up to the top so that you guys can see what these columns are. Like that. So we have the job code, we have the ship name, we have the quantity, we have the material efficiency, the blueprint cost. So for each crane, the blueprint cost is 834,000 for each endurance. Now this is not the total cost, this is for each. It does the maths later in terms of the total cost. But for each endurance, 535,000 ISK is the actual blueprint that we have to account for. Some of these look to be quite expensive, like this, the Hawks. We must have had some really bad runs on Hawks for these to be this expensive. So for every Hawk that we actually deliver, we have to account for 1.7 mil just in the blueprint. So we must have had some pretty bad runs on Hawks. I don't know why that would be. Like if we were running parodies, maybe we were doing runs of 5 and only had 1 success, or 5 runs and 1 success. You know, I don't know why that is, but that's why this system is here. Like there are some elements that are running on averages, but I try to stay away from averages as best as I can. If you have bad runs on invention, you need to make up that somewhere. So that cost is then passed on down the line into the next phase of production. So these Hawks, now that's fine. If we end up producing these Hawks, they would still come out at 31 million each to make, like, and we would sell them for what, like 30, 37, 38? I'm not gonna actually, yeah, let's do this just for an example here. So these Hawks, when we actually arrive in the market, like they're still selling for 42. I'm still going to sell them for 39. So it's not a stress that the blueprints were quite expensive. We're still going to catch up, and we're still going to make our profit in the end. So that's that next tool. Remembering that this tool, we did the Rennes prep. I know that it's kind of a simple tool, but I actually really like it. I like the elegance of having the quantity in the middle, because you could do this, like I said, you could do this the other way, right? If you wanted to buy 5 Crusaders, multibuy still understands if you put that number on the other side. So it still knows, oh man, we gotta There is not even 10 prospects or 10 endurance in Rens right now. We got to turn up. We got to drop some stuff off. We got to build. But yeah, so that's how that works. I will catch you in the next video. I think the next video that we'll be looking at, the tool that we will be looking at, or the element that we will be looking at, might be time to look at this. Might be time to look at the production ships sheet. If you have seen previous videos, I think it was like the where to get started or something. That was from a long time ago. I've made a bunch of changes to that whole system. I'm pretty sure that whole sheet broke. There's a lot of videos there that I'm kind of encouraging you to do some pretty volatile stuff in terms of building your sheet. So that's some pretty bad information there. But hey, we're all learning. So in the next video, we're going to be looking at this sheet here, the production ships sheet, which is a variant of stuff you might have seen before. Thank you. Ciao. Ciao.